Alright, what's up? We're back in this piece again. We're on to episode 4.
We're back in the streets.
Back in the streets. We're doing, I'm proud of it. We've been consistent week. This is episode 4, week 4, whatever it is. There's a lot of stuff to happen. There's tons of stuff. It's your boy, Mr. Biggs. I got the one and only.
Got Mikael Casanova over here, wondering how Destiny people are dissing the Switch. Man,
wait, what is it? What is this?
You didn't
about?
hear about? Okay, so Bungie gave a reason why they're not gonna put. They said not gonna put Destiny on the Switch yet. They didn't say period. People are losing their minds. Their reason is they said an always online game connected to a console that can be portable is not feasible for them right now because of other issues. I don't know. But people are losing their minds over it. Apparently, there's a boycott Bungie going on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boycott Bungie. I don't think we're going to get too far at that boycott.
No.
So basically what's happened is that I can't even, you know what? To hear Bungie say they can't put on the Switch doesn't sound too surprising. I actually didn't look at Destiny 2 like, I ain't buying, even if it was available on the Switch, I'm not buying it on the Switch. I'm just not playing Destiny on a handheld. It can't go down like that. You need that Pro Controller. You could play it on a handheld. It would be, I guess, fun to grind on something on the go. But I'm so used to playing on the Xbox that, for me, I'm buying on the Xbox.
I think that's kind of what the guy was trying to get across.
He probably didn't want to say it without hurting people's feelings. Like, listen, we already made it on the PS4. We didn't know what Nintendo was doing. They done dropped this Switch halfway through development. Nah. Y'all, see, they're trying to be PC about it, just keeping it a buck and just being like, listen, it ain't for y'all. And then the people, people be flipping out. They're already flipping out now saying like, oh, they didn't do anything and stuff like that. But you can't expect, I like the Switch. We all have one. We love it. But I don't look at the Switch as like, oh, I need every third-party game to hit this joint. Maybe, we're fortunate enough to have multiple consoles, so I'm kind of talking from a place of a little bit of privilege, I guess, where I'm just like, oh, it ain't on the Switch, cool, I can just buy it on this one. So if you only have a Switch, though, I can't imagine you only have a Switch and you don't have another console unless you've just been chilling out for all this time and then the Switch pops up, which means that you like portable-type consoles, so you can't really expect everything to be there. Yo, think about this. Bungie just put this game on PC.
Yeah. And
the PC people aren't getting this game before the consoles. And then you bring up the Switch. I'm like, yo, Master Race has been screaming from the top of the mountains about how they don't have it. They're getting it now, so be prepared for those comments like, yo, your Xbox version looks garbage. Look at my 1080 Ti at 4K. I'm be like, yeah, it looks crazy. It better look crazy for the amount of money that video card costs. And listen, I ain't dropping, not yet at least. I ain't dropping those $600 for that. I'm cool on that joint being on my Xbox, but yeah, to hear people complain about it on the Switch, I don't know what they expect Bungie to tell them.
If any, I think, and this is purely my opinion, I feel like the Switch is a great companion console.
That's a good argument.
Yeah.
I like that argument. That's kind of how I look at it. If it can be a portable game like small games and things, and I always tell people this, I look at Nintendo for what Nintendo does. I don't look at Nintendo consoles as a means for me to get third-party ones. Now, like I said, that's different from people that have multiple consoles. But when I look at the Switch, I'm like, what unique opportunities are available for the Switch? Like, they sold me on ARMS off that direct video.
They sold a lot of people.
Because I was on the, I was on the fence of like, I'll see, it seems cool. Then I saw the direct, and I'm like, oh, snap, I'm copping. I was like, I know you already had a pre-order, but I was kind of like, I'll see what it looks like.
I got to get rid of one of my pre-orders. Layla said she don't want it.
Crazy. We'll just keep it. I'll just buy it. I'll just get it.
Yeah, you already know once I start playing and she plays it, she's going to be like, I want one.
I mean, I guess you could only have one copy because you need Joy-Cons. Yo, Nintendo about to make stupid money off the accessories. Then you need Joy-Cons. I only got one set. Need another set. That's 70. Or is that 80? Is that 80?
80.
Yo, Nintendo, they're cashing out. They're making up for all them Wii U's y'all didn't cop.
That's true.
They're like, so people complain about the Switch not getting a game. That's going to be the theme for 2017. The Switch didn't get something. I'm flipping out. Now, I will say a couple things. There are a few things that I'm going to have to debate with myself what I get. Like Need for Speed, right? I have a feeling it might come to the Switch. Maybe. If it does, then I'm going to be like, oh, man. Need for Speed on the go. And then I'm going to want to play it on the Xbox. I can't be doing this double up life. Like, I'm going to have to make my bed. I might honestly just keep it at the Xbox because I buy all those digital. And I'm just going to be like, most of my racing games, just going to have to be on the box. That's just what it's going to have to be.
Yeah, you got Mario Kart. That's good enough on the Switch.
That is, honestly, that's not even, it's a not. Some people be like, no, it's not. But I'm not mad at the lineup that they have out right now.
People still saying there ain't no games.
Well, yeah, if we're talking about the other consoles that are out. Like, of course, there's no games, considering that there is, I don't know, how many in the Xbox and PlayStation library. I mean, of course, there's no game. Of course, there's no games, but that is what it is. What I should talk about is this rumor of Sony.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
Yo, this TV is on sale.
Like, you don't need... This man is trying to... oh, my God. Let me talk about what's happening in these streets out here, okay? This man out here over here trying to double up on some 43-inch TVs, talking about dual monitors. This man's trying to make a movie theater in his workroom. This man trying to do IMAX home style. Come on, I would double for another 43. If you don't get out of here,
it's 4K though.
This man about to be on Tech Sources what Setup Wars or something.
Told you.
Yo,
$179.
That Elgato thing is mad money. That junk is crazy.
That lady did not care.
Yeah, that's called the come up. Craigslist, people. Get on Craigslist, yo. If you ain't buying tech on Craigslist or flipping it on there, I know everybody's scared of the Craigslist Strangler, but just stop meeting people up at night in back alleys behind Chevron. You be alright. Okay?
Yeah, she did ask me if I wanted to go to her apartment. I was like,
I've met some people at apartments, but you coming down to the middle of the parking lot. Okay,
no, I'm talking about after she sold it to me. She's like, "Oh, you want to come in and get a drink or just hang out?" I was like,
nah, B. Okay, I seen Get Out. Stop playing. After Get Out, I ain't coming to nobody's house that has any fair skin. I'm gonna be like, I'm good. We're good out here. But yo, back to Sony, and I know you about to jump in this. Sony out here there's some rumors, some patent that people are saying is gonna drop an E3, some handheld console or something. Let me just say something right now. Sony done disrespected us with the Vita. Okay, and we didn't let them slide. We let them slide. Check your GameStop, check your local video game purchase spot that you go to. Tell me what Vita games they got. You go into Target and be like, I need a Vita game. They're going to be like, sir, we don't know what the Vita is.
What about the PlayStation TV? The
Vita
TV.
The Vita TV. He's the only person out here that got this junk.
In their drawers.
I don't even know if people even remember the Vita TV. Oh my goodness. You know what, Sony, they did that and then they made that PlayStation View thing, which... That's another long story. All these streaming services trying to compete against cable providers. Like, until you get these massive conglomerates up out of there, the Time Warners, the Viacoms, Verizons, the AT, these people got too much money and too much control over content. Every time somebody tries to make a new channel, YouTube TV, Sling, Direct Now, PlayStation View, whatever it is, Hulu now has TV, live TV. every single one of them always has some caveat that they can't get this channel. No, we don't got TLC. Sorry, you ain't got Home and Garden TV. No, you ain't got this network. You ain't got no MTV, no Comedy Central. No, you ain't got BET. It's like none of them are going to be able to ever make the full package because all them companies own them junks. And when you own them, they ain't letting these people get away with this a la carte setup. They've been making too much cash. I know they're losing subscribers every year. They show like people cutting the cable cord. I mean, I hadn't had cable in like, 15 years or something? Bro, I haven't had a cable box in my house in so long. Like, it ain't happening. Like, I hit the internet and was like, that's a wrap. You know, if I need to see something, I can get it.
Yeah, but you saw that coming. A lot of people, I don't understand a lot of people not catching on to that. We saw that years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the change. I just wasn't hip to the price tags. I was like, how much for 200 channels? 150 a month? No, I'm good. Like, especially for considering that I don't watch much. Like, when I'm at somebody's house that's cable, honestly, I'd probably flip it to HGTV and watch Tiny House Movement or Flip or Flop or, you know, whatever else renovation thing. I just leave it there and I go to the Speed Channel and TLC and Comedy Central or something. Like, I keep it so basic. Once these companies get wise and do like a la carte, get access to, I don't know, Comedy Central for $2 a month, watch how fast people sign up. Because you could still get your money. If you made every single channel a la carte for like $2 a month, people are still going to stack it up to the point where you're still going to get a vast amount of money. You're going to get, somebody said, I want 5 channels. That's still $10 a month. I want 7. You know, things like that. It's going to take everybody to start losing money for them to be like, oh, we better start giving this stuff out the way it should be. You know, when content creators go to Netflix and YouTube, that's when it'll start changing. But back to, unless you got off track with the PlayStation TV. Sony got this handheld that they patented. What year is it? Like, was it 15 or something?
2015.
I don't even remember seeing this thing. Like, where was I at? That snuck under the patent radars. But anyways, they got some handheld that looks dead on the idea of a Switch. Which, I don't know when the Switch was kind of announced. Because they kind of kept it under wraps.
There's no... Until they revealed it, we had no idea what it would be.
Yeah, so I know people are saying they're like biting Nintendo. But I'm like, maybe they had some insider. But honestly, handhelds are always going to look like this. And now there's this rumor that this could be the console they show at E3. And I'm like... When is Sony... Now, we could definitely be surprised. It'd be cool to be surprised every now and then instead of everything leaking weeks before. But where has Sony ever hinted at there's a console coming to E3? Am I mistaken? Bro, I haven't even seen a peep. Now, it'd be cool if they come out there and be like, you thought it was just about the Scorpio, bang. My question is this. How do you market a handheld like that? When you had the Vita, you didn't do nothing with it.
The first 6 months of the video was good, and that was it.
But I mean, think about everything else.
I mean, honestly, I feel like if they do that, it's gonna cannibalize They've got too much out now. You got the Slim, you got the Pro, this supposed 5, and if they do this, like, no.
That's true.
Besides, I mean, Sony, the biggest selling game for Sony was Monster Hunter. And Capcom left Sony.
Monster Hunter was well, I mean, it's on Nintendo now.
Yeah.
Like, yo, Monster Hunter on the Switch. Oh, God.
Which we are getting.
I can't even wait. Anyways, continue.
But, I mean, like, think about it. Like, what game are they going to have to be able to market it? Because with the Vita, they tried to say, we got Killzone. We got Uncharted.
Okay.
We got Call of Duty.
Well, that's true. When they did launch it, I mean, I had a Vita the day it came out. Like, I went to go get that joint because I was like, I'm ready. See, the thing is, I know where the love comes from. Sony did well with the PSP. The weird thing about the PSP is that they did have a lot of games for it. But Nintendo still was eating their breakfast, lunch, and dinner when it came to the DS line. Like, they were just still like, you're not on our level. So Sony kind of got washed to the side for the PSP, even though they had the library to back it up. way more support. And so then the Vita comes, and it's like, you got all this power, and the best thing that we got out of this thing is Uncharted, which was a launch title.
Yeah.
Or very much a launch. It was in the launch window.
It wasn't even as good as the console versions either.
Well, I know it wasn't supposed to be, but it was a good game. I had it. But, I mean, after that, I traded my joint for new 3DS XL because I was like, I'm done. Like, I've been waiting for y'all to do something.
Oh, I remember that too.
I was done. I was just done. I was like, they're giving how much money for these? I'm out. I'm like, I'm done. I tried. Because I'm looking at you with the DS like, yo, Kirby, this Mario game, this RPG. I'm like, yo, where the heck is the Sony games at? And it had more power, had an OLED screen. All these specs make it sound like this should have been the one. It wasn't the one. Now, they got the idea of a new one. I don't know where they market this. I don't know where they slide this in. And I don't know what games they announce with it. Like y'all got something under the wraps. You got a brand new Crash Bandicoot and not a remake. Cause
You're not gonna let that go.
I'm not moved by this junk, yo. I'm not gonna remake Crash Bandicoot. Everybody over here flipping out. Oh man, Crash Bandicoot's back. No, it's not. It was already here. It's on the PlayStation. I'm sure if I scour the internet, somebody made that into an emulator online. It just looks better. Yes, it's a great game. I get it. Everybody wants Naughty Dog to like kind of go back to a fun platformer instead of all the serious titles like Last of Us. I understand. I get it. They're good at it. But come on. I know what they want. They want everybody to rely on Knack. Yo, I can't deal with Knack. Like, I was looking at the video for Knack 2. I'm like, this is still looking trash. I'm sorry. It doesn't. Dude just hop around. I'm like, this is just not. It's not the one. It's not the one. And then maybe I could be proven wrong. I'm always glad to be proven wrong. But right now on videos and paper, Knack 2 sounded like Knack 1 all over again.
I feel like a lot of people are surprised they even announced Knack 2. I didn't see that coming.
They did it with like, they were waiting for applause or something. I'm like, why? I'm like, Knack 2. Honestly, they must, I know it's because the developer behind it's like a famous developer. So, I know they probably are like, we're gonna do this, differently. So they're probably like, let's use this developer because he's so good. Give him another shot, another chance. And I'm like, all right then, but Knack 1 was so trash. It was, who's playing? Ain't nobody playing that. Nobody. So, it'd be cool to see. I'm not against all these companies making a powerful handheld. If Nintendo's the one to light the fire, so all the better. I just don't know how Sony's is even announcing such an idea. To me, it's strictly in the rumor mill. Like, I'm taking this with the biggest grain of salt you can get. Like, Sony handheld at E3? Okay. How about you give me an entire bucket of kosher salt on this one? Because I'm not believing it.
If they announce it and it's $4.99 or $3.99,
you ain't not doing no handheld. Let me tell you prices, okay? $3.99 handheld, dog.
The Switch doesn't even cost that much.
People were already up in arms about $2.99. You can try to flex $3.99. Honestly, the only thing that I'm concerned about at E3 is simple things. Nintendo with Mario, Microsoft with the Scorpio, what the price is going to be, what this thing looks like, and Sony for whatever games they got in the chambers. That's it. I don't really need to see other hardware. The only other hardware I'm going to see, we already saw the internals of. I just need to see the outside look of the Scorpio and how much it's going to cost. And honestly, it can look like an Xbox One S, and I'm copping. I don't care. Like, the internals are all that matter. Show me the game. Show me Motorsport 7, Forza. Show me Call of Duty. Show me whatever you got. What you got?
TURISMO Sport.
I do see. This is where it gets interesting because now I'm wondering like, so you got Destiny in September, and I'm like, dang, when's the Scorpio come out? Am I gonna have to like transition myself to I want to see all the upscaling. I want to see what games are going to actually take effect to the Scorpio's power. I want to see what developers are on board to do it, so on and so forth. I want to see the whole thing laid out. Like, show it to me. Don't hold no punches. Let's see what y'all got. Same thing with Sony. I want to see what they got. I want to see what they got for the PS4 Pro. I want to see what the heck they got for that, John. Because right now, it's a desert.
Here's something funny. For all the flack people give Xbox, I feel like Sony's been quiet since, was it last game, Horizon? And that dropped, 4 months ago?
Well, I mean, it was a knockout. I mean, that was a home run out the park. But I think a little bit of their spark and pizzazz and things of that nature there's a little bit diminished when they were dropping Scorpio specs. And I mean, obviously for the knock for the Scorpios, like, where are the games at? I'm like, listen, after E3, if all I see is them show 2 games for the Scorpio, I can be like, alright, it's looking kind of dry. I'm gonna keep it a buck. It's not looking so crazy right now. Hopefully we got something in development. That's gonna be Phil Spencer's biggest thing. Everybody's just looking at them like, you've been talking, y'all been quiet. You were quiet last year, been quiet through this year. Y'all getting mad heat by the people who playing games like Horizon Dawn and Zelda. And let's be real, the Xbox side ain't looking so. For me, I can find stuff that keeps me excited because I'm a racing game fan. So Forza did the Hot Wheels update. I'm like, this is the dopest thing I've seen in a while. But I'm a racing game fan. So if you're not into racing games, I mean, like, what are you really playing? Like, we play Titanfall because we like Titanfall. We have Ghost Recon. Like you say, they're shooters. True. If you're getting tired of shooters, then I don't know what you're playing. I don't know what you're playing right now. Like, especially on the Xbox. Like, I don't know what you're jumping to. Outside of, like, I'm not talking indie titles because somebody can jump and say Inside and things. Yes, I know those exist. Those are really good games. I'm talking about the games that are in your face. The ones that are marketed in your face. Like, where are the other games? So, I never discount that argument that people have against Xbox. Now, to say it has no games is a little extreme of, like, just being over with, just overdoing it. Like, oh, they got no games. Okay, I'm not saying that. But in 2017, it's been hella quiet. And that's just kind of what it's been. Now, that's why I'm giving them until E3. Like, to me, E3 is like their show and prove day. Like, their press conference, it's like, yo, y'all been silent for 6 months.
Aren't they going to drop that? What's that game they brought back in development?
What one is that?
The Dragon one?
That's what Scalebound got.
Yeah, they brought that back.
What are you talking about?
You ain't hear about that?
Dude, what are you talking? Now I got to see. Now I'm on my phone. Like,
they renewed the IP.
Yo, how? Where?
But I think they got rid of
the developer or something.
Yeah.
See, I knew something was up when they showed that game last year, and it was looking mad choppy on TV. I was like, okay, it's looking cool, but it surely wasn't a. It surely wasn't a, I'm gonna cop this right now. But, maybe. I mean, hey, anything is better than them having no games, right? Anything's better than them having nothing to show for. So, I'm all for that. I'm all for it. But, speaking of which, yeah, you got to show me that. I'm jumping to something else I want to talk about. And did you see the stuff they did at Google's I.O.?
No, I didn't see that one yet.
I didn't see it. I was just reading about some things. So, the cool thing, Google is obviously going full steam ahead on AI.
Is this what Keith was talking about on...
I think so.
Oh.
That thing else he was mentioning. But, Google Assistant's on the iPhone now. That's a big deal. I'm going to tell you why it's a big deal. iPhone has had Siri since, before all these things popped up? Because Google tried a bunch of stuff, like Google Now. What was the other one they had? It was Google Now.
But it was something before Google now, wasn't it?
Yeah, I forgot what it was. I want to say something like Google Voice. What?
Yeah, it was Google Voice.
Was it Google Voice? Yo, this junk happened like when? Like 2 days ago? Where the heck was I at? Microsoft renews the trademark for canceled Scalebound game. This is crazy. That's interesting. But you know what everybody's gonna... So you know everybody blames Microsoft for like people like Platinum Games not having, you know, high level games, and they were such a high, you know, developer. What happened? Honestly, you know what I think? I just read somebody's comment that just let me like spark my mind. What if they just put this to Scorpio? What if what they were trying to achieve just wasn't going to be possible on the Xbox One hardware? Think about the nature of like these dragons and what they're trying to pull off. Like they're pushing it to the limit. Like you want full scale dragons looking cool, flying in the air while you control them? Come on now. Like at some point it's going to look kind of choppy, you know, because you're asking a lot. I wonder if they took it, removed it, and then just said, this is going to the Scorpio exclusive. Like, this is now an exclusive Scorpio title. Even though they want to make it back and forth. I feel like, have some people have argued, there has to be an exclusive game to Scorpio. Yeah. You can't only have everything scaling back to the one, because you do lose some of that desire and reasons why I should be going to the Scorpio. If every single thing is back and forth and it only looks better, which is very, very good, and I argue that that is enough to buy it, there is something to be said for an exclusive. Something that you're like, you're not playing this on the one, you're playing on the Scorpio because that's what it is. And a game like that, that's not... Yeah, you'll get the Xbox One fans that are going to be hating because they wanted it on Xbox One, then it got canceled. But hey, if it ended up on the Scorpio as an exclusive and it looks crazy, I ain't mad. Not at that. I'll be good on that. But speaking about Google Assistant, they got this joint on the iPhone. And I gotta say, Siri ain't answering a lot of questions the same way anymore. Like, number one, every time I have you, Siri, it has been a series of disasters. And when I call my son's name, which sounds very similar, she be wildin'. I didn't get that. I'm like, if you don't calm down.
Yo, to watch this reacted to.
Oh my God.
I could not find the answer to your question.
I didn't even say anything to you. Yo, I can't even believe this. Yo, get these watches out of here right now. Like, this is... I just hope Google's the one or somebody can crack it. They're the ones pushing for AI, but the big deal about this is that them putting it on the iPhone is kind of like them making sure that everybody's using it. And that's a big deal because Apple doesn't put Siri anywhere else but on their hardware.
Yeah.
Microsoft puts Cortana everywhere. Then we saw it build. They got the cloud clipboard, Cortana following you on the iPhone, Android, Mac, Linux, Windows 10. Like wherever you're at, Cortana can be there. That's a big deal. And I think that's where Apple is losing and slipping, because you're talking about, you want a voice assistant to be able to read and understand multiple inquiries, multiple languages, multiple people. That's what you got to do. It got to be everywhere. Google putting their assistant on the iPhone, that's a big deal, because everybody knows the number one map on the iPhone is Google Maps. Like, ain't nobody need Apple Maps. Come on, bruh.
I mean,
yo, if you don't get out of here like you be using Apple Maps, got me lost twice in one day. I was done with that. I was like, see, I tried. I don't even know I mean, I know it's bad when I can see where I need to be, and I just need to know. Like in Hawaii, we got a lot of small streets. They got crazy names and back alleys. I just needed to get to the main road. This junk had me doing dos muchos. Okay, I'm going around mountains. I'm like, yo, literally all I need to do is go down the street. Why did I rely on this thing this time? So I ain't hearing that. Everybody uses Google Maps. Now they got Google Assistant. Everybody's using that. They're about to get mad data.
Wait, it's out?
Yeah.
What?
Dude, what you talking about? It's already in the store.
Yo, where is that?
See, people, this is called, let me explain something, okay? My co-host is slipping in the streets, okay? I don't know what's going on. but this has been a busy week. My man's been busy, okay? He's Mr. Certified CompTIA right now. Y'all need to pay your respects.
Whoa, Google Board's on here? I didn't even know that.
Oh, yeah, the Gboard thing.
Yo.
They even got Alo on here.
What?
Yeah. There's Alo on the iPhone.
Where have I been?
Now, this might have... when did they put this on here? This could have just happened.
Wait, I don't have Google
What
Maps?
This happened to me. But see, let me explain something to y'all. This man's on an iPad Pro. And I don't mean the 9-inch one. The beast. He talking about I don't got Google Maps on this. If this dude he tries to step out this house, navigate him, dude. If I ever, that would be kind of a funny joke. If you had that on your dashboard, you probably get stopped by a cop. He'd be like, I don't care if it's a map. You was on that joint distracted. Here's a ticket. Like that's too big. Yeah, don't try to put Google Maps. You know what is good? I wanted them to talk about that Google Trips app, but they haven't really done much more for it. It was a cool concept because, I like when you take trips, you can document what's been going on. But
True.
they didn't really do much more for this. It's kind of more so like, here's your hotel, here's your ticket, and things like that. But anyways, back to what I was saying with the assistant. The big thing with this is the data they're about to collect because now they got iPhone users. And I'm like, what's Apple going to do about the Siri thing? Because now they're kind of looking behind the curve. Everybody's everywhere now. Everybody's putting their services everywhere. Like, listen, everybody uses this. It's the only way that we're going to make this smarter and better. Even Amazon with Alexa, they got people making TVs and refrigerators and cardboard boxes. They're like, listen, you yell Alexa and we can do whatever you need.
That's true.
And Apple just hasn't been... They've been kind of just, like, quiet about it. And, I mean, maybe they're busy making this iPhone 8. I mean, it sounds dope on paper. I'm ready to cop. I'm sure I'm going to have to do some ridiculous nonsense to get this junk because the way things are sounding, if you ain't at the Apple Store day of in line, you may not be getting one. Because it's sounding like I can't.
How long do we wait to get ours?
Honestly, no. This time around, real talk, I'm probably going to have to go straight to Apple Store. I can't even imagine T-Mobile's... Come on, B. You remember with the iPhone 7. This 8 one, they're already talking about nobody's going to be able to get it. Then I'm going straight to Apple Store. That's all it is. But at this Google I.O., they talked about the assistant. They didn't really mention... I thought they could mention some hardware. There was nothing to really mention. It was really just software-based. Like them in K-12, in education, Chrome OS... Android O, don't know what the O stands for, Oreo, I don't know what else it could be. They didn't do nothing. But I don't even know, I haven't checked that out as far as like what's on there. I know you can download it as a beta on something. Maybe you could put on your Pixel to see what it's like. Because you're not using it no more, really.
What? Pixel?
The Pixel.
Yeah, I do.
You do use it? I would try putting it on there to see what it's like.
I use that. That's when manufacturers and all these people want me to review stuff.
Yeah.
Call that number.
That's true. Like, listen, don't be calling main one, call that joint. But, yeah, so Google had their I.O. thing. It was cool. I mean, it wasn't groundbreaking information. It's just more like, hey, this is what we're doubling down on. There was no modular phones. All that extra stuff, like the Dream headsets. Like, after the Pixel conference, there really hasn't been any hardware. But we already know how Google gets down. They release something, it lasts a while, they axe it. They on to the next thing. They're like, we're not even worried about this. But
yeah, because they've already said they're going to axe, the Pixel in like a year or two?
Well, they mentioned that, but I mean, I think they would keep making it. I mean, why not? I mean, I don't know about the Pixel 2. They haven't said anything about that yet, unless there's a rumor running around that I haven't heard about. But like this week, it was more so Google I.O., quick things, assisted on the iPhone is kind of like the biggest thing to me just by nature of like what they're trying to achieve. And now having one of the biggest phone groups a part of it now. As opposed to Apple Siri being stuck within the phone. So that's a cool thing.
Siri.
Now, yeah, Siri is what it is. Now, what else happened this week? Like I said, Kelcast over here, good old certified. You know, we in this IT world, okay? BMIIT. Black men in IT. Join the group, okay? I know some people are going to read this and be like, what's going on? Y'all ain't Asian? Nah. No, we're not Asian. No, we're not white. Okay? We are a minority group up in this. Actually, honestly, our whole group is like that.
Yeah.
We the minority. Like, honestly, because you took the test today, so I'm sure there was probably one other person there of color. If that.
Nope, I was the only one.
Not surprising. I mean, that's just what it is. I like the fact that we're in this because I'm going to talk about something that's more like for us and just like a personal thought. I like this industry that I'm in because you don't see people of color. You don't see people of other ethnicities other than, and this isn't a knock to whites and Asians, but that's the majority of what you see.
That's true.
Even gender is mostly male. You don't really see females, a few here and there. But to see another black man, woman, Hispanic, you know, whatever race it is, you don't really catch it that often. Especially in IT. Even in, you know, we live in Hawaii, so black in Hawaii, we're already a 1%. I mean, everybody's a minority except Asians. I mean, you can even say Hawaiians are minorities now at this point.
Man, they're the biggest minority.
Yeah, so
I could go on a rant about that, but not for this podcast. Not for this podcast. I got kind of heated. Was it this morning? You saw that?
Oh, yeah, that post that person made about... Now, I'm not Hawaiian. I'm not from here. I moved here. I'm an expat, if you can say so. It's basically like almost another country to some people. But, I mean, I think that's people upset about the way things have come history-wise. Oh, did I tell you, we were at my wife's friend's house, and one of her friends from the Big Island is a teacher. She's born and raised, family from Hawaii, from here, and she broke down...
That's not Wahine?
No. No, son. She broke down everything to me about the history, because she's a history teacher. So she was like, I asked her, I said, can you just give me like the rundown about like Hawaii? Because we started talking about the telescopes in the Big Island and like the whole protest they were doing. And she said, I'm actually one of the few that are from here that were confused about the protest. I said, oh, so explain to me what was going on. And she was like, they just didn't want them to put this telescope up there because I was like, was it like sacred burial grounds? She's like, no, it's not burial grounds. It's just they didn't want them to put anything else up there. And I said, is there any other telescopes up on that mountain? She said, yeah, 7. And I was like, there's 7? She was like, yeah. I'm like, what? So there's 7 telescopes on that. I'm going to say this all wrong. Somebody from Hawaii is going to hear this and be like, yo, it's not called Makua. It's called, and I'm like, listen, I don't know how to pronounce the name. All I heard was that there were multiple telescopes already up there, and it's one they're going to build probably, even though it's paused right now, is to consolidate all the other ones up there. So I was like, well, wouldn't it make sense to consolidate 7 telescopes into one big one? That way it would clean up the skyline view of the mountain. She was like, yes, that's precisely. But she broke down the history of Hawaii, how it came to be, the story of the Queen. I was sitting there like, yo, I did not know this. And then when she broke it all down in the end, I was like, so the idea of Hawaii going back to being its own entity is a dream. Like, it can't happen. Like, she told me how it got to this point, and I'm like, you're never going to be on your own. It's impossible. Like, somebody was coming through because y'all didn't have anything to stop it. And I said it. I was like, was it just a case of what were they going to do? Like, if it wasn't America, what was British was going to roll up with the warships at the dock and say, and what were you going to do? Like, because if you've been living by your own rules, like you have your king, you have your queen, you have your own type of like parliament, so to speak. Like, you're living under like a royal family and they're dictating certain things. You would have to build up your own defense, right? And because she was breaking down to me how Hawaiians are perceived, like she told me about the whole stereotype of all Hawaiians being lazy was how when the companies came that were running these sugar farms or mills were wanting them to work all these crazy hours, they didn't realize that Hawaiians were a part of, they cherished the land like you hear about. So she said them surfing was them being one with the land and the water and the ocean. It was part of their culture. But for people from the mainland that came here, it looked like recreational sport. It looked like, y'all ain't doing nothing but surfing and laying on the beach. We need to get these sugar pounds out the door. Y'all are mad lazy. And so she was talking about that's when they started bringing in other people from other places into the island. And then it started mixing and mingling and people marrying each other. And then when the businesses came to overturn the queen and take all the business and everything, it was a crazy story. And like once she was done, I was like, that opened my eyes to a lot of stuff. I understand where people come from wanting Hawaii to be a certain thing from what it was before. I think maybe some people just hear the stories and dream about what it used to be, but they never were there because, I mean, there had to be some caveats with everything. I mean, you can be your own entity, but that means you got to do everything on your own. That means all your infrastructure is based on that. But because America saw the strategic need to have Hawaii on their own so they can control the Pacific, it was bound to happen. Either they were going to do it or some other country was coming through like, thank you, we're doing it. And it was going to be either probably the British or something. But it was a cool story. Like, she told it to me and I was like, wow, that answers all those questions I keep hearing. Like, so what's the whole story? Like, why do people mention this? Is it even feasible? Like, the idea of becoming your own. Like, California says that. Remember when Trump got into presidency and California's like, we about to become our own state. And I'm like, I mean, it'd be cool, but let's be real. If you do, that means you're getting cut off, right?
Yeah.
That means that whole infrastructure you got to build yourself. Who's governing that state? What's the laws? Who's coming to your rescue for things? You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds great on paper. We trying to build a train still. We can't get a monorail up. Like, this baby steps, people. Like, we over budget on a train system that should have been here 20 years ago. But they're like, nah, we don't need it. No, you needed it. I know people don't like the train, but I feel like once it's done, the train is not a 5-year plan or 10 years. It's 20 years. Like, 15, 20 years from after the day it is operable will be when you start seeing the benefits of it.
It's kind of funny because this morning, or rather last night, Lehu and I were actually talking about that.
What, the train?
No, the history of Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
For those of y'all who don't know, my wife is actually Hawaiian. She's, strange fact, I didn't know this. She's actually from Maui, but grew up in Molokai. And even she was telling me, with some of her family members and friends and whatnot, to talk about make Hawaii Hawaii again and independent. It can never happen. That's like, what is it, in Japan, they had the whole thing about the Ryukyu Islands. I forgot what it is. But Japan took it over. Like, there's no way something that small, or as small as the islands of Hawaii, can ever be independent. Somebody's going to have to take it. Somebody is. And I know a lot of y'all are going to get mad to hear that, but it is what it is. None of us lived in that day and age, so we can fantasize and hypothesize and dream about what it was like. But a lot of y'all people like Facebook and social media too much. How y'all going to live in the old ways? Like the whole make Hawaii Hawaii, like the old style, you're not doing it. Y'all ain't giving up social media. Y'all like your Snapchats too much.
You think Facebook's gonna cut off Hawaii?
We'll cut it.
Yo, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting story to read. I mean, to hear, not read. Because it gave me some insight on that. So it was a dope thing. I mean, I know people can hear this podcast like, man, y'all in Hawaii, stop complaining. Ain't nobody complaining. Okay, the joint's beautiful. We might have traffic and stuff. I like where I'm at. Mikkel, he's been here for a long time, so he's trying to see the rest of the world, which I understand That's all that. I understand where his perspective comes from. This dude's ready to go. But he been here for, how many years you been here now?
16 years?
Yeah, I've
16,
never
17
been
years?
anywhere 16 years. Like, legit. Maybe I have a little bit on the East Coast. I have, but I mean that was when I was a child living at home. Now, I haven't. I was in Houston about 5 years almost. Now I'm here. I've been here for 3 years. So, yeah, I can't speak on that length of time. If I was somewhere for 16 years, I'm sure I'd be like, yo.
Then again, that might change.
Yeah, I mean, we all working on big things and stuff. And honestly, we always talk about it. We're like, listen, if you can travel, get off the island and things like that, you ain't too mad coming back. As long as you got, somewhere else to see and do. But
I'll say this, though. Owning property in Hawaii, if you got it, keep it. Because the market value is just going to go up.
that's what Andrea wants. She
Yeah.
wants to buy something out here. And she's like, no, we need to, like, when I talked to her about going, she's like, no, we need to buy, like, an apartment or something out here. Like, you don't need to be bounced like that. So, I mean, that would be, now, if anybody listening, the price tags out here are astronomical, okay? Like,
You want a hole in the wall? That's about
500,000. We're not even joking.
No,
Like,
we're
where I
dead
live,
serious.
there's a house that's selling up the street from us. It's 700,000. I don't know if somebody can hear it's like 700. What's that, a mansion? Nah, dog. It's a whole, it's not a whole. It's a cottage.
It's a hole in the wall.
2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 1 bath. And we're not talking like some grandiose split level ranch style. We're talking single slat walls and a couple windows. Like, it's as basic as it gets. These new constructions, they're building some new place. A lot of these places get built like rentals. So they have a lot of bedrooms that are split level. There's like 3 apartments basically in one unit and one giant one family unit. They're going for $900 million easy. I mean, it's crazy. So yeah, Andrea, she wants to get something like that, and not that much. She's just saying like we should try to get something. And I've been looking on stuff like Open Homes, Zillow, and there is stuff within the 300 to 350 range that's actually like I would do that. Like, that's not a bad idea. Because I mean, if I break it down the price point, then over a course of years, depending on how much you put down, you still could leave and like rent it out if you wanted to and still cover your like, as long as you get a place that you can have a mortgage that's like $1,200, I think, or if it's lower and things of that nature, you can always find somebody to rent that out.
True.
That's not hard. If one thing, getting a property to rent out here is easy. Like, them junks getting snatched.
You need to talk to my landlord. She said she having a hard time having someone rent this unit here. That makes no sense.
The unit up there, how much is that unit for?
$11.50, 2-bedroom.
It might be, I don't think it's the corner. But
It's quieter there.
yeah, that's true. You guys are ground level there.
Yeah.
But you guys have nice space here. She can't rent that for $11.50. Where did she got it posted? On the back of the Star Ledger?
You know what? No pictures on Craigslist ad.
Oh my God. She gonna put. Yo. This area, we already know. This area is stacked with so many rentals that if you don't got a picture, people ain't trusting you. Like, I've come to here to see spots that were hella sketchy. Like, I come in there, I'm like, why is the ceiling only 6'5"? I'm 6'3". I'm coming in the room like, I don't think I can fit, Playboy.
Yeah, even when I moved here, there was no picture. It just had a description. 2-bedroom.
Y'all have you have a nice space. The building is nice.
Yeah.
The only caveat is, yeah, you're on a busy corner, but the space is good. The ceilings are tall. I mean, you'd probably be like, let me get that if it didn't mean moving your life up there.
You think I'm moving this desk? Yo, we had to take the window out to put this desk in here.
Yo, he got a desk in here that's like, when I'm talking about, we had to get
Vertical?
man,
Horizontal?
things we had to do to get this desk. I can't even. We couldn't even get it up there.
Nah.
Cause they all have the same exact layout, right?
Yeah.
Dog,
there's no
we
way.
died trying to get in that. We be trying to have a crane out there, like, yo, we need to get this to the second floor window. That's not happening. Anyway, we're trying to move only up the stairs. Like, that's ridiculous. But I don't know. they're not putting it up there correctly.
No.
Like, that's nothing. Plus, ain't nobody trying to do all that. But another thing that I was... Dang, what was the other thing I was about to say? I was talking about something else, and I totally forgot. It was something that happened in the tech world.
She came to say hi.
Oh, one of the cats. One of the cats is now here.
I got 3.
Speaking on the mic. Say your piece. They're not saying nothing.
Trey said he wants one.
Oh, he wants to take one of the...
His wife said no.
He got that Wattweiler ready to munch on everybody when it gets big enough. That thing ready to destroy. I don't know how he's even thinking about trying to get a cat. That cat's not even gonna survive more than like 2 days. That Wattweiler gonna be like, yo.
Alright, that's enough.
Yeah, that's the cat hitting the mic. So it's real organic out here. We got buses and whatnot. Things. Oh, that's what I was gonna talk about. So now I'm gonna say this and you're gonna be like, oh, snap, what's it look like? But we already know. So they leaked the next Surface Pro.
What?
No, it's not anything. Yo, your face is like, yo, hold up.
Let me look this up.
Nah,
right
it
now.
just looks like the Surface Pro 4.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because remember I said it's probably just a refresh. They said they're gonna announce something in Shanghai on the 23rd, and which is what's that, Monday?
Yeah.
So on Monday, Microsoft is hosting an event. So next week we're gonna be talking about this, but they're like, there's gonna be new hardware there. But the rumor is that they were telling prominent journalists like, don't really bother coming to China because we ain't about to like do nothing bonkers. Like, ain't gonna be no Surface phone. So this is just a refresh. So Kaby Lake processors, maybe more memory. I don't know. They max out at 16 because my Pro 4 has 16 gigs, and I don't think they're gonna go to 32. So 16. Maybe they add a different graphics card. Because NVIDIA with the Pascal, they do have ones that can be in a system like the Surface Pro, maybe, if they decide to. True. But also, the one thing that people are talking about was they thought they were going to put USB-C on this thing, and they didn't. And some people are trying to say some junk. The USB-C is not prime time, guys. It's not prime time.
Okay, yeah, y'all need to chill on that. Apple kind of tried to blaze the trail, 2 years ago? With that MacBook? It was the first laptop with it.
It's cool. You can blaze the trail.
Yeah.
But all you sitting there with mad dongles and adapters and hubs connected to it, it's essentially just doing the same thing. What Microsoft decided to avoid is like, listen, you're hooking up all this USB stuff still. We're just not going to put the Type-C on there yet. Now, of course, you can argue you can put a Type-C and a USB one. That's still more cost. And honestly, the Surface Pro is so good that the only knock that they had was all the issues that Intel had with the Skylake chip. All those sleep issues, the hibernating issues, the power issues. That was Skylake's fault. That's why Apple didn't do anything to their MacBook Pro, because they saw Microsoft jumped ahead, did that, got all the flack for the issues, but it was Intel's issues with the Skylake.
Yeah.
Apple saw that, was like, we ain't touching the MacBook yet. Then the Kaby Lake comes out. They're like, cool, y'all fixed all those dumb issues. Now we're here. This is just a refresh, and that's good. And I heard it's not called Pro 5 at all. I think it's called just Surface Pro, which is smart. That they dropped the numbers. I think they're going Surface Laptop, Surface Book, Surface Pro. It makes perfect sense.
What do you think if this Project Scorpio becomes Xbox Surface, or just
honestly,
like a whole
I don't
Unity?
know what name they can give it other than just call it Xbox. Like, Xbox One was never the greatest name for me. We say it now because it's been 3 years. But when I first heard, I was like, Xbox One?
Yeah.
And I know why it was called One, because they're trying to make it the one area for entertainment. Remember the whole split had one thing for movies, one place for games, one place for sports. Yeah, Xbox One. Okay.
Yeah.
They should honestly, and it's going to probably not be as climactic as saying Xbox Scorpio, which sounds crazy. Right? But in reality, if you want to clean up your product line, then they're probably going to walk out there and be like, he's probably going to have a joke and be like, you want to call it Scorpio? Let me show you the name. He's going to be like, Xbox. He'll be like, I know what you're going to say. Like, this is corny. We should have called it Xbox Phantom 2000, but it's not going to be called that.
Yo, Phil Spencer going to go out there and clown.
But he's going to clown himself knowing, like, that's what people are going to say. But I think they probably should just call it Xbox. Like, just let it be. it's the Xbox. Now, I don't know what they do because the Xbox One S is still out, so it's not like, unless they just say from here on out it's the Xbox S and the Xbox. I don't know. I'm glad I'm not in that group because I'd be sitting there on the drawing board for hours like, bro, I don't know what to do. I have no idea. But that's what's coming on Monday. The refresh. I don't know if there's anything else there. Honestly, I think because Panos is there, they could throw something out of left field. I gotta see it either way because they could come out of left field with some crazy announcement. Because Panos dude is there from the Surface team, and you know he likes to talk. So I'm kind of wondering why they would have him all the way out there just to talk about a refresh of a Surface. You know.
True.
Because you can announce that without anybody. You could just be like, yo, we refresh the Surface. It comes with Cabby Lake and a couple of things. Go get it. But now I got to watch it because he's there. And it should be interesting. I mean, it'll be cool to see. I did see the update to OneNote.
Using OneNote right now.
Oh, yeah. Yo, the update's mad crispy. The colors are way brighter and better looking. It's faster, too. Like, it pulled down stuff I needed way quicker. I was like, man, this is lovely. See, us in this IT world, we use OneNote a lot, you know. I am Mikkel, you know. We're one of the very few, you know. Speaking of which, you know what? Man, the reality of needing another computer is starting to set in.
You got, what, a week?
I'm 1 week at my job. I'm about to move off. I'm going to hold down a law firm out here, be their systems trainer, IT. That's what we're doing out here. Progression. I'm studying for other certifications as well. Mikkel just knocked out one today, about to knock out others in 2 weeks.
I ain't ready.
Progression. Okay? Progression. About to get top security clearance and stuff. We're about to do big things out here, okay? We're about to have another YouTube channel just on my black men in IT. Okay, think we might have to pop that off.
You thought about? You probably have. Our group is.
Yeah, we're about to pop that off. Okay, you're about to see us up there in front of servers. Like today, we're gonna talk about DNS. People are like, "What? There's some black guys doing IT? Where? I've never seen them. We need to call CompT and put us on a commercial.
For real.
Y'all need some diversity, okay? We're that. Now, yo, I realized I need the reality setting in. The other day I was on it, and I'm like, yo, I'm still mad comfortable. I realized that I got the school to buy this, so it's really theirs. See, when I joined the school, they tried to give me some brick, and I had to go to the principal and like, listen, man, you want me to handle the IT in this school? I need tools. And so I got him. He was like, get what you need. He was like, just get what you need. I was like, I don't know the price. He's like, don't worry about the price point. I'm signing off on it. Get what you need. So I was like, bet. Surface Pro 4 i7 16 gigs. Yeah, my joint's the i7. Why are you looking like that? You thought it was an i5 this whole time?
Yes.
I don't play around, son.
Okay, true that.
I was up in that at Microsoft store like i7 16 gigs 256. Get out of my face.
How are you?
How am I gonna replace this shit?
Yes.
No, it's. I was using it.
Can
today.
they have that as a parting gift?
You know, technically I could have. I mean, I would never be this person to sneak out with it, but they technically didn't forgot that it was bought because I had mentioned it to the vice principal, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have this ready for the next guy that you guys decide to hire whenever that happens. And she's like, oh, I thought that was yours. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, see, if I was that guy, I would have snuck out this junk, and y'all would have caught on like 9 months later. Like, yo, whatever happened to that?
That's true.
Didn't we? They would have done their inventory at the end of the year and been like, where's this Surface? What is this? Yeah. Like, they'd have saw that box, but I ain't gonna steal nothing. That's ridiculous. That would just been another stereotype. They'd be like, the black man took it. So I'm not doing that. But, yo, no, seriously, I was using it today, and I was, like, writing something on it because we had a meeting. I was using the pen. I was like, yo, I'm not gonna have this next week. Like, what am I about to do? Like, this junk costs mad money.
Dude,
I went on the website. I'm like, this junk 2 G's. I don't got 2 G's. Like, not right now. Not for that.
You know, I regret that decision I made to get rid of my Surface Pro 3 in 2015. I regret it.
What did you do with yours?
Remember, I sold it on eBay.
What did you get?
They're like...
No, I'm saying, what did you buy?
Nothing. I used it for rent.
How much did you get? Dang. Hey.
Because remember how much I was getting paid back then.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, man. Hey, you got, bro. Keep the roof over your head, if anything.
True.
How much did you get for it?
11.
Oh, okay.
But I had the 512, 16 gigs.
Oh, yeah.
i7.
I had an i5 with 4. I sold mine for $700, and I sold mine to the guy the day after the Surface Pro 4 was announced. Like, he was like, I saw the Pro 4 announced. I'm like, yeah, I mean, ain't nothing extra. Like, I killed that jump, man. I don't even worry about it. But I sold mine to fund the PC I built. Because remember, I was trying to build that, and I was like, and I spent probably like $1,800 or like near $2,000. And I used that, all that money went straight to parts on that. I was like, man, I need all this to that. Because at that point, that's when I was done with Microsoft, so I wasn't working. I was with home with Zuri, and I was just like, well, I don't need I have the desktop, so I don't need nothing. And then also I was actually in talks with the school already, but it was just the process takes mad weeks because it's the DOE. Anything with the state takes way longer than it ever should. So I was already waiting for that. So I had to go and get, I didn't need nothing. When I got to school, I was like, give me the Surface Pro 4. I was in between the Surface Pro 4 and a Surface Book with a GPU. Like, I was in between those two. And the reason why I went with the Surface Pro is because I had to hold it under my arm and I'm walking around. And I'm like, the Surface Book is heavier. I don't feel like dealing with all that, you know? And they kind of had issues still with, like, the sleeping and all those things. And I was like, listen, I don't feel like dealing with that. Like, give me the Pro. But now I'm moving on to this law firm. I highly doubt they're going to give me something. I can't wait till I get there and be like, are y'all passing out computers or nothing? They're probably going to be like, nah.
And be like, here.
And I see, you know what they probably will do? Because they're more standardized, because it's more of an enterprise. Even if they do get something, it's probably just going to be like a Dell Latitude 5470. And I'm going to be like, this is hella corny. Like, I can't be out here with this 15.6-inch screen monster. So... man, like, I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, dang, I need something. Like, I'm going to need something. Like, straight up. I can't be out there, like, nothing. I mean, maybe for, like, couple months or something, but honestly, something's got to change. I was looking on eBay at the Razer Blade Stealth. That little small one they have that you can hook up to the core thing. Which I don't need the core thing. Which, you know, I did read about. I did read that. I guess the processor in the Blade Stealth isn't strong enough to power like a 1080 Ti in that core thing because it's a dual core variant. And they're like, I was reading some review that somebody was saying that in the Razer Blade Stealth, if you have the core and you put a GPU like a 1080 in there, that the processor, the i7s or whatever they're using, dual core variants, aren't necessarily strong enough to power through. I mean, I guess the calculations of what it needs to do when it's running a certain game.
Isn't that why they sell the external GPU?
That's what he's talking about. Yeah. I read a review that somebody said they put a 1080 in there on, like, I read this on Newware. They put like a 1080 in there and it's just not strong enough to power through what a 1080 can provide. And I was like, I actually never thought about that. I wondered if that was the case. I don't know how true that is, but it doesn't sound too far-fetched because what a 1080 can pull off, you still do need some processing power. So if you start because imagine if you have a 1080 and you pull a game to 4K and you start throwing it at Ultra, there's a lot of processing power going on. Like, you're going to need this thing to really run. And that little laptop, that little fan probably screaming on that processor like, yo, I don't know what's going on. Now, you know what I do like from Razer? Their Razer Blade Pro, that 17-inch one, that has a full 1080 GPU and like 32 gigs of memory. It's mad expensive. It's like near $4,000 or something. They made like a brand new one for 2017, but I guess they didn't make that many because on eBay they're going for like $3,800. It's like 32 gigs of RAM, a 7820 HK, like a 6-core, all the way overclocked. 1080, I think even a Ti, 32 gigs of RAM. It's a monster for a laptop. Like, when you look at the specs, you'd be like, yo, that's kind of... Like, that joint's smashing my build. Like, I got 32 gigs of memory. So do you. I ain't got no 6-core Kaby Lake. I'm like, that's kind of crazy. Which brings me some other, like, tech ideas. Besides the fact that I got to find a computer. I don't know what I want. I really don't. Like, I'm getting Andre that Surface laptop, but I don't want to get her and then be like, oh, let me use this too, because it's going to defeat the purpose. I either want to get her that or an iPad. I'm got to talk to her like what she wants more first. Because I got to get... Yo, today, remember you talking about the battery life on the S8. Battery life on the S8, awesome. Way better than the S7. She charged it...
Oh, boy.
She had it charged once. I don't know at what time in the day. I came home at like 6 o'clock. She was on her phone. I'm like, what's your battery life at? She said 40%.
That's really good.
On the second charge. Like, she charged it. She already had killed it once. I'm like, yo, she's a monster. She's a monster, B. I don't know if I'm going to clarify that. I could be wrong. It could have been the single charge. If so, she just wasn't using it that much. But the other day, literally, I came in the house and was charging. I'm like, she's like, oh, it died. I'm like, yo, I gotta get you a tablet phone. Like, the way you keep murdering your phone just doesn't make any sense. Because she doesn't use any other outlet. Like, she doesn't use a TV. It's like, it's easier for her to just use it on her phone when she's, dealing with the kids she's homeschooling and training. So she just uses her phone because she's like, it's in my hand. It's easier for me to watch it there. That's the thing. So I'm like, you just kind of need an iPad. Just so that you can relinquish some of the duties off of this phone and get something that can handle longer playtime. Because she's doing everything. The phone, the emails, the texting, all that. But, so yeah, I'm going to have her, honestly, I'm going to have her do like a rundown test. I'm like, let me gauge your usage through the day. Like, use it for real. We want to see like what you're looking like to the rest of the society. But, so I got to find something to use. I don't know what. I was looking at Dell XPS's. Then I was like, I'm probably just going to end up trying to get another Surface. Because I was looking on, like, Facebook Market, and there's tons of Surface Pros up there. Like, all the time. I even thought about a Mac. I was like, do I want to get a Mac? I was like, I'm never going to pay for a Mac fully. I'll go buy a used one. I ain't walking in the Apple store and giving them full tilt. Never. And I only thought about a Mac because I was like, man, there are some apps I would like to use, but then I'm like, but if I use a Mac and I go there and I'm at the law firm, they're like, oh, we're mostly PC based. I'm like, yo. But what I could do, I did think about, is you're going to be like, oh, snap. I thought about a new Mac Pro and just get Parallels.
The trash can one?
No. MacBook Pro.
Oh.
And just get Parallels and just run Windows on the side.
You could. It actually runs flawlessly.
Yeah, because I know I have a Hackintosh, but...
Oh, man, I need to do that again. I still got that.
Yeah, I knew as soon as I said this, I was like, you're going to be like, wait a second. See, I have the Hackintosh. Like, my PC can run Mac OS, which is fine.
We need to do that for mine.
Yes. I do like it, but here's the but. You do notice the difference between the usage, like how fluid it is from a native hardware perspective to Hackintosh, which is fine to do on a PC. I would never try to make a PC laptop into a Hackintosh, even though people can do, because I'm like, nah, there's way too much stuff you have to do and wrap your head around. Like, the commands, like, y'all be hitting, like, letters. I'm like, what the heck did I just do? Like, I don't know what this means, because the keyboard doesn't have it doesn't have a command. So you hit the Windows key and something, and the thing does whatever it's supposed to do, but I don't know all the commands, so I'm like, I don't know what I just did. Like, it's cool for me to use it when I'm using GarageBand and trying to transfer over tracks that I've done on my phone. So that's why I was like, man, maybe I should just get a MacBook Pro, run Parallel so that I have the Windows side, so that if I'm at work and they're like, we need to run Windows, I can just launch Windows, and then if I'm like, yo, I want to finish something I did on my phone for music, I just jump back to the Mac one. That's honestly what I've been thinking.
could do that.
It sounds kind of whack because I'm like, oh boy, I'm buying a freaking Mac. You know, like I'm a freaking minion. I done lost my Windows phone. I ain't got no Surface. I got an iPhone and a Mac. I'm gonna be like, how did this happen? Like, how did I get here?
It's not all bad though.
No, I mean, that's just being.
I mean, for a creative person like you, that actually makes more sense to do.
Yeah, that's what I've been literally thinking about. I'm like, man, I think I should just go that route and just run it with Parallels because, like you said, Parallels run so flawless. I could just throw Windows 10 in there and I'll be like, I'm good on that. Like, I wouldn't use the Mac side, honestly, that much. I would still use the Windows side more. Like, I would still be like, give me Windows because I like that. Like, I like Microsoft Edge. I like how Word looks. I like all that. I ain't about to use Safari and Chrome. That well, get out of here. Safari, no. I use it on my phone because it's on my phone. And I don't feel like downloading Chrome on my phone because it's like, whatever. It eats too much battery life anyways. But at least on iPhone it does. Probably not on Samsung's S8 anymore. Because I know they probably...
battery life on my iPhone keeps dying.
Yo, Chrome murders battery life. Yo, like straight... I have no Chrome. I only use Safari. I literally use Safari and I search through Bing. And I'm here laughing like, yo, Bing?
This man is forever the spokesperson of Bing.
Let me tell you something. I told y'all before, they're giving out points, okay? Every month they're giving out a Surface Book. Your boy's in there trying to get one.
How many years now?
Yo, they got the $5,000 online shopping spree event. Yeah, you go ahead and enter. Let your boy win that. You're gonna see a studio and a Surface laptop in my house. Kel's gonna come over there and be like, what is this? Bring that box to my house for my video channel. I'm gonna be like, here, do an unboxing. Okay, your boy done cashed out. I got 18 Xbox games.
Oh, man.
All types of stuff. But what I was talking to DV about, and this is something cool for anybody to talk about, is the AMD Whitehaven processor. I know you saw us having that conversation with me and Steele, and everybody was just like, yo, 16 cores? Oh, man. I never thought I'd be at a point where I'm like, I'm about to do an AMD build, but these Whitehaven CPUs, 16 cores, 32 on basically a hyperthread. See, let me school you. See, my partner here is making a face of intrigue, which is him not realizing what had happened in this world. So AMD is soon to drop their answer to...
They've been coming a long way.
They're about to drop their answer to Intel's, HK series and maybe they make a Skylake X that what is that, 12 cores?
Yeah.
It's gonna cost like $2,000 or something crazy. Like there's no way it's not gonna cost an outrageous amount of money. So this is AMD's answer to that. This is them saying, here's our answer to very high end, process. Now a lot of this stuff leaked, but in reality, if you look at the specs and everything, you're like, this is a serious enthusiast. And they're going to launch the Vegas GPU architecture soon. And that's them answering another enthusiast grade, like 1080. Because right now they have the Ryzen ones, right? Which go to 580. I think that's the highest one, right? For their GPUs on theirs. The one that DV had. The highest is 580, or does it go higher? It goes higher than that?
I think that's the highest one.
So now this is their answer to the 1080 and Titan ones. Like they're going to show off, here is our answer to those right there. So I was talking to DV and I said, man, you're talking 16 cores and 32 threads. Like how much money is this processor going to be? Like 500? Because that's a steal. And they already showed the Ryzen ones. People like, these things is running well. Like single core tasks, obviously Intel's still beating it, but when it comes to the multi-core, they're like, it's right there. It's right there with it. So I'm not sure, because it's even above the 18X one. Now, so here's what it is. The 16-core chip, it won't be as fast as the 1800X one, but it will have 3.1 gigahertz base clock, 3.6 boost clock. You probably can overclock that, I'm sure, but that's what they have possibly coming up. And that's in relation to Intel Skylake X and those processors that they have coming out and the answer they have to that. But, man, if ever there wasn't a point where I'm like, all right, I'm thinking I'm going to have to, like, make an AMD build. I'm like, this sounds crazy. This sounds nuts. I'm all for this. It would be cool. I got to wait to see what the answer is. But, I mean, obviously you're like, yo, hold up. I'm about to have another PC build. DV was like, I should do a mini ITX 60 core. I was like, dude, I've literally been thinking about that. Like, that would be crazy. See, do you understand how?
Your case is bigger than mine.
No, it's shorter. It's just more. It's a little wider. It's just denser because it's all aluminum and there's padding inside. So you pick my case up, it has way more weight. That's why it's so quiet. You can't hear anything in it. Like. When the fan, not that you can hear anything with yours, because yours is all fan driven as well.
That is ugly.
Yeah. Well, you don't like your casing.
You just said, yeah, you agree.
You don't like your casing more, do you?
Ugly casing.
Well, it's because it's just standard. That's you know why, because you're looking at DV's is tempered glass. Our friend got this tempered glass with LEDs coming out of it, looking mad sexy. So when you see that, you're like, all right, I gotta upgrade my stuff immediately. But, anyways, I mean, there's so much to talk about. But we've been at this for a minute now on this episode. So, I'm gonna end this here. We were ranting about. We're doing what we do. Just the etc. part was all up in this episode. Talking about Hawaii being annexed and whatever else is trying to go.
Did we touch on the Bungie one? On the Switch? Yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah, that was the first thing we said, because people were out there crying a river. Justin Timberlake style. Just out here, like, yo, I can't believe.
Yo, you should do a rant about this Gran Turismo.
Oh, snap. we were about to leave without me talking about the trash. Let me just say my piece with this. Because he threw this out here at the end on purpose. I knew it was going to happen.
I really did.
Totally forgot about this. I just need Sony to understand that they have dropped the ball on Gran Turismo. If you're a Gran Turismo fan and you're in denial, I mean, it's cool. Be in denial. I was there from Gran Turismo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I've been through all of them. After 4, it was a wrap. And even at 4, the argument is that Forza had already taken the lunch. Okay, your lunch money was already gone, and I wasn't even on Forza. I was so headfirst into GT that I was like, man, Forza ain't doing nothing over here. Like, I was that person. Then I played Forza, and I was like, all right, then, you know what? GT4 ain't the business. This last GT Sport beta video that's on YouTube looks garbage. Garbage. And it was supposed to be running on PS4 Pro hardware. Oh my god, this junk looked like PS3 launch title. Like, I know graphics ain't everything. I know when it comes to racing games, it's about the physics of how the car feels, how the car steers, the handling the differences between the cars, how the chassis tuning is influenced into the in-game feel, the tuning of things like shocks and sway bars and tires and tire pressure and aero and downforce and gearing and final drive and horsepower. Like, you're talking to a car guy. I know all these aspects matter when it comes to a racing game like GT that's trying to be a simulation. They ain't doing it no more, okay? Cars is sounding like Dyson animals, okay? Vacuums, okay? All them cars sound like a GTR. Every single one. I'm like, yo, get the microphone off that GTR and put it on some other cars, yo. Them junks is sounding the same. They driving on the same track. The track has not expanded. They don't even have as many tracks. They don't have as many cars. Then they showed this beta, and this junk is looking like trash. What are they doing right now? They done delayed GT Sport. It's supposed to drop in like November or October. They done delayed this thing, and this is what you show? I'm just saying a couple things. Microsoft took basic beta hardware and showed a picture of what Forza would potentially look like, and it was looking otherworldly. Gran Turismo GT Sport has been in development. It was a game that I was like, you know what? I'm going to cop the Pro. I'm going to get GT Sport. I see the beta. I'm like, did somebody turn on my PS3? Let me go look in the closet and make sure that this is the GT4 running. This game, they got so much riding on this because if GT Sport is just a home affair, I don't want to hear about it no more. Sony is forcing them, not letting them develop the games. When Gran Turismo was in its prime, and nobody can say it's in its prime right now because it's not, they took mad long to make a game. It was up to how many days? You had years before you saw one. People would be like, oh man, Gran Turismo got delayed again. It got delayed again. But you know what? Those delays meant that we got a bigger and better package. Now the delays are coming up on, we're getting mediocrity, and we're waiting forever to get it. There's no reason for this. This game should be their premier racing game. Now I know people be like, racing games don't matter, who cares, who's playing racing games. Obviously a lot of people, let's be clear here, motorsports is
huge market.
Motorsports is still a big deal. I don't know if y'all don't watch it, cool, but you know, look at racing drivers, okay? Dale Earnhardt, your boy Lewis Hamilton, I gave you some of the famous ones. Look how much they're getting paid. Motorsports is a big deal. JGTC is a big deal. Australian V8's a big deal. Okay? These tracks exist because it's a big deal. So racing games are a big genre. A lot of money is made off these. A lot of consoles are being sold because of these. There's plenty of YouTubers that only deal with racing games that have outrageous setups. Fanatec only exists because of this. Logitech makes $400 steering wheels because of racing games. This junk matters. GT Sport have better get their act together, okay? Sony drops the ball on this. Get out the racing game franchise. Take it back to the drawing board. Y'all ain't got nothing. And I'm specifically talking about the racing game car genre before anybody jumps out the window and says, what do you mean they don't got nothing? They got Horizon, Dawn, Last of Us 2. I know. We ain't talking about single player experiences. We're talking about strictly in the racing, even in the car genre. Take away the multi-class like Need for Speed, because Need for Speed is going to be good because those guys make sure Need for Speed is good. And it's going to come on Sony and Xbox. But Sony used to be there. GT is not going up against Forza right now. Forza 6 is smashing whatever Gran Turismo was the closest one to the Forza 6 Motorsports. It's killing it. You know it. GT Sport, if this is what they got, the dudes over at Turn 10 are laughing. They're like, oh man, should we drop Forza 7? I mean, this is terrible. This is bad. They're laughing. These guys, they're not doing nothing. They're not sweating about what GT Sports, they show what it looked like. This junk's a joke, okay? Everybody commented on that video like, I'm a fan and I don't want to bash nothing, but this junk looks bad. And it looks bad. They used to have some premier tile. Where's Twisted Metal at? Yeah, what? Nothing. Nowhere. Nothing. All they had was GT. If you talk about all these companies, everybody has a franchise for racing that mattered. If it didn't, Microsoft wouldn't be putting so much money behind Turn 10. All these car manufacturers wouldn't be trying to work with Turn 10. When's the last time Hot Wheels ever was in a video game expansion? That expansion pack is crazy. That goes to show you that Microsoft and Forza, they're the ones. Now, of course, as an arcade racer, somebody's gonna be like, that's corny. Who wants to race on Hot Wheels tracks? You gotta be the wackest person in the world if you say that. Like, if you say that and you say you're a car person, you don't like Hot Wheels, man, get out of here, yo. Like, don't talk to me no more, okay? I can't even announce this. All I'm saying is this. The episode after they show GT Sport, if they show it at E3, that's you gonna hear me. They're gonna probably show some real looking crazy GT Sport one, but I'm telling you now, when that junk is up against the Forza now, I'm not holding any punches. The podcast after that, I'm going to be like, tell Sony X, Y, and Z, depending on what I see. But right now, I feel like all them people need to cancel that joint like Microsoft did Scalebound and redo the trademark and try again, okay? Because I am not looking for that. I was going to cop I can't believe I'm not even. I can't even say it's on my list now. I'm just like, listen, I can't even buy this out of good faith.
You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna come over and try it if I get it.
I know you're gonna get it because you're gonna have to do it. You're gonna do a channel for yourself on your YouTube one and be like, I gotta show what this is looking like. And I'm gonna be here shaking my head in the corner like, I can't believe this.
Be like, drive.
Even I got the email. I remember I put that post and I was like, Ubisoft is sending me jokes in the morning. Talk about The Crew 2. Wait for E3 was coming. So I'm like, if y'all don't get out of my email box,
I mean, that's
Crew 2. If they don't fix them, now here's the thing: the Crew, the concept and the foundation is so close to being one of the best racing games. The driving mechanics, the way the cars handle and feel, is so trash. It is so bad. There's too many people there are the people that play it and they deal with it because they just get used to it. I can't get used to it. Coming from Need for Speed and Forza, even GT in its glory days, like this junk's handled like trash. This junk feels like every car's driving like an F-150.
You know what they should do?
What?
They should contact Namco and get the rights to Ridge Racer.
Ridge Racer is more of a drifter. Honestly, they should bring Ridge Racer back and then just make it a lot of fantasy tracks in Japan, like Initial D. They should make it like that, like a bit, because it was always about drifting. So they should make Ridge Racer again, and they can still keep the name, but they should make it more of a Toge, Wayne Gang, Japan, Tokyo subculture, racing in the mountains, racing in the city. That's the type of thing they should make it. If they bring that back, that would sell, and they should put it on the Switch. So they're like, yeah. They would make money off that if they could, if they wanted to, but Namco got so many other things that people want them to make that they're probably like, listen.
Soul Calibur?
Yo, don't even start with that. Soul Calibur. Listen. We already went through this, okay? They ain't messing around Soul Calibur right now. People ain't playing fighting games like they used to. So.
Can I rant for like a quick second?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go and do I'm done with my car rant. GT Sport. I don't even know what to say, man. I'll believe it when I see it. That's where I'm at.
Alright, so everyone knows Injustice 2 dropped. Okay. I picked it up from Redbox. I didn't get to play it. Why? Because my wife's a big Marvel and DC fan. So she played and beat the story in 2 hours.
That's impressive.
I know. On hard.
Dang.
And
She might be coming for your throne.
I know. But here's the thing with fighting games. In the 90s, we had arcades. So we had reason, get the quarters, go and compete. You know, we had the updates, revisions. People didn't complain back then the way they do now. Now, I feel like in the genre, when it comes to fighting game lifespans, if you're not Street Fighter, you really don't have a long lifespan. Like, Street Fighter can run 5-6 years before there's a new version.
Yeah. They have the backing for the history.
Yeah. If you're King of Fighters, they're releasing one every other year. So we got 14. They're already talking about making King of Fighters 15. Because they know they don't have the same foothold as Capcom. It's the same thing with Injustice. That's probably going to have a 1 or 2 year lifespan before people forget about it. I mean, think about Mortal Kombat X. That was nice. I played it for the first week. And sold it. I mean, it's not going to stay... They
were holding on to the old school, like, oh, everybody wants to do fatalities again.
Yeah.
And they got that off for a bit.
Yeah.
Like on Twitter, people were like, yo, because remember Conan O'Brien had it on his thing. He was playing with, was it Marshawn Lynch? I think he was playing, and he was like, he's doing dumb videos like, yo, look, these fatalities are crazy. So they got that off for like, but it was short-lived.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to last forever. It was like, yeah, you got it off. People playing it because of the fatalities, but that was it. They didn't care about the mechanics of fighting. Every video you saw, people like, all right, cool, just get the fatality. Like, they didn't care about the structure of fighting games, you know.
That's why I feel like there's only 2 games, well, actually 3, that should drop that would bring back the love for fighting games. 1, Soul Calibur.
I need Mitsurugi, okay? That's all I'm saying.
2, Tekken 7, which is dropping in a few weeks.
I'm excited about that, actually. I saw some other videos. I'm going to cop that. I'm excited for it. I'm excited because it looks like a return to form. Like, get back. Stop doing all this extra Taken in DC versus, the Avengers. I'm like, like, I don't want to, like, stop putting all of them joints together. Like, just get it back to the OG style it was. And that's what it looks like Taken 7 is.
The last one, Virtua Fighter 6. If we get a new Virtua Fighter, and here's the thing, the reason Virtua Fighter 5 didn't do well when it came out in, 2008, is because people, that the new generation of gamers didn't have the dedication we had. You play Virtua Fighter, you gotta learn the character. You're not gonna just hop in there mashing buttons. Go up against Akira.
There is no button mashing in Virtua Fighter. There's no such thing. I was using that drunken guy. I had to spend a whole summer. That was the first game, not first, but that's one of the games where if they sell you the strategy guide at GameStop, don't ignore them. Buy that junk. Because that move list was crazy. Now, speaking of something, you're going to be like, what? I think I actually have Virtua Fighter 4.
That was a good one.
I still have it on PlayStation 2. I have PlayStation 2 games I totally forgot about. Like, I have... I know you're looking like, what? You remember that shooting game?
Which one?
Called Final Type X. It was like the best one made. It's from that last Legend.
Yeah.
I have that too. Because I remember I bought that because I was like, this is one of the greatest space shooters you can get. I think I have that, and I think I have like Driver. It's literally in the clouds. I saw it there. I was like, wait, is that Virtua Fighter 4? I was like, yo, I still got this joint.
I would play it.
Because I remember I have it because the PS3 can be backwards compatible.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Fourth one. Power Stone.
Yeah.
Power Stone. If Capcom got behind Power Stone.
Capcom, please. Please, for the love.
And can you imagine even if you don't bring it to Xbox, PlayStation 4, Switch?
If there ever was a case of a fighting game being put on the console, the Switch deserves Power Stone. Like, let's just do this, please. But I'm also nervous about IPs being that old because then they try to get away with the nostalgia. So they make like a quick remake and it's like $20, like 4 boards, and it's on the eShop. And I'm like, oh, y'all didn't even try.
Oh, you mean like Ultra Street Fighter 2?
Well, they didn't have to know because Ultra Street Fighter 2 is just reintroducing Ultra Street Fighter 2 and polishing up the graphics. It's still the same game it was on SNES. Power Stone 3, it's like, that's a sequel. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not talking about them saying we're putting Power Stone 2 on the Switch and we're making it look a little better. It'd be cool. Make that $20. I'll still buy it. If it says 3, I'm expecting a continuation. I don't care about the story. I don't remember what the story was.
It had a story?
I think so.
Oh.
It was something. But a continuation, I expect boards and characters, moves, and things to be all progressed along too. Street Fighter 2, what's mad about is like they want that to be something it's not going to be. It's Street Fighter 2 Ultra, cleaner and running smoother. They even give you the old nostalgic look that you can switch between during the game.
Yeah, I don't know why people are mad
It's
about
just Ultra
that.
Street Fighter 2. It wasn't nothing else. It's not Street Fighter 5. It's not Street Fighter 6 Ultra.
They want new characters. I'm like, why?
Why you want new characters in Street Fighter 2? That's like them re-releasing Crash Bandicoot like they're doing, and then you expecting them to introduce a new character. It's like, why would I want a new character? It's Crash Bandicoot, the old one.
Yeah.
It's not the new one. So, Street Fighter 2 Ultra is only ever going to be Street Fighter 2 Ultra.
Which we're getting.
I mean, I'm going to get that too, probably. It looks cool. I mean, it's... Who doesn't like Street Fighter 2 Ultra? Come on now. If you played it. If you're not a Street Fighter fan, that's kind of for... I mean, I do think the price is kind of high for what it is.
The Best Buy Gamers Club.
You honestly have to do that. Because 40 spot, I'm like, I don't know about all that. Whoa. That is the alarm for it's done. Well, what phone is that?
Was that me? I
Yeah.
did.
That's your phone. Or that's the phone over there. We got full live phones happening.
I ain't getting nothing.
That's your house phone?
What?
Yo.
I'm out.
Fully live. I think now it's done. See, this is what you call live recording. We're like, yo, what's happening? Yeah, we gotta put a message in there being like, yo, podcast recording, call back later.
That was life.
Anyways, that we both said our piece this episode. Another long one, but you know that's how it goes. I'm sure at some point I'll get a timer and we'll just start cranking this down shorter. But hey, this is the fun part. So, anyways, once again, if you're here, if you made it to this part, made it all the way to the end, you weren't bored to death, cool. If you were, I mean, you can throw some comments in, but hey, watch y'all talk about this. I may consider that, and I may not, you know. But that's just what it is. Cam, Mr. Biggs, you can check the podcast. Etc.Podcast is gonna be on. It's on YouTube, on SoundCloud. SoundCloud, it kind of cycles through the episodes. I guess I gotta buy more time. But it'll always be the latest one on there. YouTube, Tech Etc. Podcast. It'll be videos for audio for all these episodes you can catch. Polytext Group, you can catch us. Mikhail Casanova. Go ahead, plug away. Again, every episode, do what you do.
All right. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mikhail Casanova. You can catch us on Twitter, YouTube. You can catch it. Well, we ain't got Facebook yet, but we gonna get there. So Twitter and YouTube.
I think be forgetting about Facebook.
I don't even be using it like that, though.
But I guess you do need to use it. I guess I gotta make a... Alright, guys, so there's gonna be a Tech Etc. Podcast Facebook page, because I'm out here playing games. You can catch me on Twitter as well. Thanks again for listening. We out.
Alright, deuces wild. Deuces wild. Deuces wild. Deuces wild. Deuces wild. Deuces wild.